Alrighty, good morning. Here we are again, live trading, and we are going to be trading Qs today as well as yesterday, so appreciate you guys joining us, or me. I guess there's just me, but I just wanted to start out by saying none of this is financial advice, all for entertainment purposes only, looking to make a little bit of money every day. Current goal is $150 a day, 20 days a month on average, so about $3,000 a month is the goal. And so we'll base our trades off of all that. So just looking at the maximum number of time frames that are currently following the trend. So currently we're in a bullish pattern, short term, but a bearish long term. So contradicting patterns. So what we're going to be looking for is investing a little bit less per trade. So just keep that in mind. I might even go less than what I originally drew out yesterday. Right now it looks like possible bullishness on ADX. MACD looks good. Momentum is solid. RSI is kind of peaking out. And OBV is positive. So with that in mind, looks like the 3-hour is our max here. So we're trading about $750 to $1,000 per trade is going to be our entry. So got a couple things to draw. So we'll start out by we don't have a lot of time before the market opens, so got to do this kind of quickly. Alright, so got my 5-minute chart pulled up on my phone just for extra verification of chart pattern, just to keep that visual. Wish I had more screens, but I do not, so that's kind of what we're dealing with right now. So 25 on the weekly is going to be up here. Bull market's right there. Bull market support band is right there as well. Delete this. Don't need that. 100 EMA is right about there as well. Let's see what else we're dealing with. Pre-market 691. Wow, so we bumped all the way up to the 75, the daily. 75 EMA daily. I'll change that line as well. And then we shouldn't have to worry about it. Oh, the gap too. The gap is coming up quite a ways away. Well, a couple dollars away, I guess. Not too crazy as far as distance is concerned. So we're gonna get calls ready to go. I'm gonna get my calls pulled up here. Make sure we can see about 10 strikes. I'm probably gonna have to refresh that anyways. Always takes a minute for them to warm up the call options chain, or just the options chain in general, for trading. So, all right, 6:30, we are live. Let's see, 4 hours. Well, Amazon is pushing. It's 264. Let's see, this is 75 on the 4-hour. there's a lot above us, so we'll just double check here real quick. MACD's turning bullish, so it wasn't before. Probably going to catch a pretty decent bid here. Gap fill is, I believe this green line, 698. See the high, 690, and we'll say about 690, 60, what was it? 67. Alright, so that's a gap fill. I'm just going to wait for this to keep remaining positive. Let's say gap fill. Alright, 75 EMA is above us on the 4 hours. Keep that in mind. If we're looking at the 3 hour, we have the 100 EMA 3 hour. Remember, we at least want the 20-minute chart to line up with what we're looking at doing. So that's why I'm not jumping into anything right now, because it was not. So we also have quite a bit of overhead resistance. There's that. Let's see, 2 hour. Yeah, everything else should be fine. So back to the 20-minute. Alright, looking bullish. It's looking bullish here. MACD is curling up, so it does want to be bullish there. Momentum is pushing higher. Still not drastically high. See, on the 20-minute, we are pretty overbought. It could keep going, but we'll leave that there because we added that for a reason. So I'm going to leave that there. Remember, we could chase these, but already up 14% on Amazon. Wow, now Apple is suffering. It's like they had earnings. Now they're tanking off. Tesla, been wanting to trade this one here. ADX looks good. MACD is doing the same thing as Q's. Momentum is barely above. So we'd want to wait for another 5 minutes before we do anything crazy on Tesla. Once again, I kind of don't think that I want to trade anything else until Q's have turned fully bullish. So keep that in mind as well. Plus, we're looking at the same thing. There's quite a bit of overhead resistance, but there is also gap fills and whatnot. So to the upside on a stock that is in retirement accounts. So keep that in mind. So we'll keep an eye on Tesla. Nice, now we have a gap fill to the downside. However, I don't believe these have to fill based off of what I've seen in the past. So the reason why I knew this one had to and this one had to is because it made that new high. I made that new all-time high after having broken out from an all-time high. So it's like, hey, we hit an all-time high, and then the next day it gapped up. If it has not hit an all-time high before it gaps, I don't think I've seen it have to fill. So it can just keep on going. But in these two scenarios, it did fill both gaps. So exactly what I thought originally. Remember, we could play the reversal, but that would require momentum dropping here and weakness on the 20-minute and the 5-minute, which I don't see at all. There's no sort of indication that we're pointing the other direction. We do have a 2-minute chart about to close, and a 20-minute and a 5-minute all at once. This was a prior trend line that I drew. Looks like the charting can't really handle it. There we go. So not to say that it could get down from there, but it could be a line that we see be important today. Also do this as well. May or may not be anything significant. Looks like the 3-hour, which is ironic. That's what we've been trading on for. That's the only one that was bullish. The 4-hour was still bearish. Looks like it bounced off the 100 EMA on the 3-hour, as you can see right there. So we could find some support here at 692. Crazy reversal. All the way back down. So it's not going to leave us too much to play with here. 5-minute chart. Looking a little bearish there. 20-minute chart wasn't showing anything though, so. And it's already hitting our exit practically, so that didn't leave us too much to go off of, unfortunately. Yeah, Tesla pulled back $5. Crazy. I bet Amazon is selling off. Probably had a good rally. Not too bad, actually. Interesting. Alrighty. So, now we have a little area that we could play the breakout. So, we're more interested now today in breaking out above here. So, not going to take any put positions. It's too dangerous on the downside. We have a gap up here to fill as well. So, we're more interested in the long side continuing today. It could sell off, right? There's a reason. I'm trying to think what it was. I thought about it earlier. That I was like, it could be a sell-off day, even though pre-market's bullish. I'm trying to remember what it was, though. Other than the weekly, daily, and 4-hour, which are the stronger trends. Those are bearish. We do also have the gap to fill to the downside, which, once again, I don't think it has to fill, but that is something to consider. It might try it. 685. So, pretty significant downside. And we'll just add that there. see, 1 minute. I'm confused. Oh, I guess it wicked. If it clears that wick, then that's where it would do it at. So gap fill, downside. Alright, so it is, you'll see people's charts and like you won't understand why it's so messy, but then you start charting yourself and you're like, okay, these are many things that I'm looking out for. So what we could do if we want to get froggy, we could play the downside on the break of pre-market. This would be against our trade, typical trade patterns, so keep that in mind. We just have quite a bit of support down here. There's possible bounce at the 25 EMA on the 20-minute chart, which it just touched, so if it has a hard time pushing through that in the next 16 minutes, looks like it might not have a hard time at all. Wow, this is crazy. We might be trading this bearish today with yeah, it's just chop because we've got contradicting limits here, so Datadog is looking to break all-time highs here. Not sure if it'll do it, but NASDAQ is pushing lower, so I don't really want to trade that, but if it keeps strength up, I mean, and doesn't sell off, might still be good. It's hard trading chop because you have so much support and resistance now. So literally at any moment, it could be something that all the hedge funds are looking at and all the big traders with a lot of cash that are like, all right, I'm going to be watching this EMA, this 50 or 100 EMA on the half hour, the 2 hour, the 4 hour, the daily, whatever. Obviously, the bigger guys are probably going to be looking at a lot longer time frames, but still something to consider that stop losses might trigger, or other things might trigger based off of some of these support lines. So we stayed. I told you that 75 doesn't always do anything or always do something, but 75 daily is right where this opened. This candle opened and is now rejecting off of. So something to consider there too. So we're about $1 down from my original. Would have been 50 cents, which would have been $200 on 4 contracts. If this closes bearish and the ADX is pushing more bearish, MACD momentum, RSI are pushing more bearish, then we will consider taking a very small-ish position to the downside, but it's still trying to fight that downside push. Momentum is reversing. We'll see how this candle closes, see if that holds true for the next candle. But we still have quite a bit of time on the 20 minutes, about 12 minutes. Looks like we touched all-time highs possibly on that. Looks like Bitcoin is having a hard day today. Apparently, some people were hacked. Cold storage was hacked, one of the more popular ones. So Bitcoin is losing some security or some confidence with that today. So something to also watch out. Cold card, hardware Bitcoin wallet bug puts years of Bitcoin seeds at risk. So Bitcoin's down about $1,400 or so. Look at that, we're just filling that gap fill to the downside. If it holds this, it might be a nice little reversal play. Contracts on those puts went from $3.50 to $5, so about 50% return there. That's unfortunate. Would have been a nice day. Would have been done trading already. So there's the 3-hour 50 EMA. It could bounce off of that, but I do think that it's going to fill the remainder of this. Man, 20 minutes still has 10 minutes to go. Already missed all the price action for about $10. Well, about $9. Actually pretty close to 10, but see if she holds up here at the 50 EMA 3-hour for the next 10 minutes. Watch it just completely reverse and make an all-time high today. Yeah, you can see the momentum is still bearish, at least right now. RSI is trying to peel up higher. Sellers are disappearing here on this 5-minute candle. OBV is turning up as well. 20-minute is still has 8 minutes left to go. So I'm going to do a sound check, make sure everything is coming through properly here for our trading for today. bear with me. I'm going to mute myself here for about 2 minutes. Alright, sounds like sound is working properly, so we're good there. Appreciate you guys hanging out during a slower day. Still 6 minutes to go. This is unfortunate because I feel like I'm just watching cash walk by me, but I'm trying to be so disciplined right now. Still haven't fully filled that gap. Do I think it will? Yeah, I do. I could have one nice big push down, but for the 20-minute candle, I mean, we're already, that's pretty dramatic for a 20-minute candle. Even this one took a breather for 20 minutes before it kept going up, so we could get that, or it's pretty much just filled it right now. So I would honestly consider this filled at this point. So now we've got no more downside left. Now we should be able to return to the upside. Let's check out SPY, see if there's a better trend going on here. Highly doubt it, but should be about the same as Qs. So we'll clear this up. It's a little bit easier to start from scratch. Let's see, we still have bearishness on the daily. 4 hour is still a little bearish as well. Not fully bullish, so this is bullish. Looks like sellers are coming in pretty good on this as well. Peeling over a little bit. Still bullish though. Kind of looking bearish actually with the 3 hour, 2 hour bullishness. No, pretty much gone too, so we're looking at a bearish day, possibly all day today. So on the daily for the downside for SPY, we have, let's do this real quick. The 50 EMA daily. 50. Then everything else should be higher, so I won't be considering this until we get down to about here if we're going to trade the downside on this. As for Qs, we have, let's see, bull market support band is just hanging out right there, which is pretty far away on the SPY, so we're not going to worry about that for the SPY. Guess we could play this gap right here. The gap is no longer. Check out the 20-minute chart. Still 2 minutes. 20 minutes painful. Definitely have to watch. So that's why it's a little bit harder when it's a choppy market. If we're not trending, I don't try not to take the position. It's very tempting to be like, okay, well, we rejected. We're selling off. We could have played that downfall to the 2-minute EMA. You know, after this one closed, there's bearishness right there for this candle, and it did exactly that. Closed above the 25 EMA on this for the 2-minute chart. But it could have easily just been like, nope, it's still bullish today, so we're going higher. So, but that gap fill, it doesn't have to do it to the downside. It just obviously wanted to today. So just enough bearish sentiment overhanging the entire market. I think Bitcoin's down about 1,500 today. SAT is holding up there. APT, once again, holding up. It was down a couple cents earlier. And then Servo is just dripping, just falling apart daily. But, which is unfortunate. I guess at some point people would actually believe in what scientists are doing, but apparently not. Wow, that was an ugly turn on the momentum. We'll see if that keeps up. 20-minute is moment of truth. Still slightly bullish on the ADX, but MACD bearish. Momentum, well, could go either way, honestly. So we'll keep that in mind. It could go either way. RSI is bearish. Oh, here we go. If we make another lower low, we'll take the put position. See what the 1 hour is doing. Ugh. There's just so much support on this. Alright, so we could play this little stretch right here. The 1 hour ADX is bullish still. MACD is trending lower, momentum RSI OBV, so that looks good. Now awkwardly, between the 1 hour and the 4 hour, we're getting mixed signals. Two hour is turning bearish, but not quite. ADX is bullish. Momentum is bearish. RSI is bearish. So 2 hours looking more bearish than not. This could be a pullback, a little reversal. Okay, we're gonna we hopped in here. Gosh dang, I should have checked the 2-minute EMA or 2-minute momentum. Yeah, this is gonna fight us now. Alright, I'm gonna hop out here. Alright, I hopped out. I didn't see that was a little bit early on that. I think it will drop, but the momentum is pushing higher, so early warning sign there. Possible reversal back higher, so keep that in mind. So we got in and out real quick. Quick is relative, but feels like an eternity when you're in the trade itself. Alright, yeah, it looks like it wants to push lower. Yeah, there's that 25 EMA there, so quick play. Once again, didn't love that one as much. Took a little bit smaller position. Would have been another 25 cents already. About 30 cents on 3 contracts. So made about, let's see, about $65 on that one. So what we'll do now is, because we have mixed indicators, even on a sell-off, we'll typically look for a reversal once it's been pushing for quite some time, back up to the 25 EMA on the 2-minute. So this is within our pattern that we typically look for. Bitcoin's now down about 1850. I do think Bitcoin has further downside. I'm going to show you a chart real quick. So here's one chart, right? Pretty clear of the trend here. Pretty dang clear. So if it's pre-programmed, which I don't know if it actually is or not, but we could get something like this, which could happen, anywhere from, as of right now, anywhere from about 28,000 to, could maybe see 35,000, 28 to 35,000, that $7,000 range. I could see us hitting in the next little bit. So, and then we turn up higher for 2028, 2029. Another one here We are pushing lows on the RSI on the monthly, so that's something to look out for. And then we'll take a look here. It's another very messy one, but once again, that lower range bounds area, something to consider. So I do, once again, think that we have more downside in Bitcoin, unfortunately. And they'll blame it on the news and whatever's coming out, but realistically. All right, so it's already up $1 from my sell order. We'd be up our $150 target already at this point. SPY is pushing lower. Wow, man, this is just already up $1.70 from when we sold. So that's unfortunate. We missed out on that. 20-minute is bearish, 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 bearish. There's nothing stopping the SPY from continuing lower, except for 50 EMA right there. There is no 4-hour left, or 3-hour, or 2-hour, or 1-hour. The bull market support band is far enough below that 75 EMA, so I would say, heck, if this downside just continues in SPY, that could be the play. Where does it stop? I mean, midday, man, it's got down pretty far. Say maybe the 27 RSI might be a good spot. 50 EMA daily, we'll see if it closes below that and then makes a new low. Five minutes gonna fight it. Once again, volatility picks up from what I have seen in the last minute of a 5-minute candle. That seems to be the most active one. 20-minute as well, but typically the 20-minute ends on a 5-minute. So once again, the 5-minute is the player there. So that's bullish, right? We maintain that 50-day EMA. I'm going to quickly swap back to I don't like that it's pushing now. I'll wait on this. I don't like that. Sorry, SPY is pushing lower after closing on the 5-minute above the 50-day 50 EMA. This could be a fake. Might not, but I'd rather play it safe. So we are back to the bull market support band. We could be getting a bid here on Qs. Dipped below the bull market support band, and now we are possibly reversing here. See weakness on the 5-minute. If I see it, I'll let you know. 20-minute as well. 20 minutes is going to be a little bit slower. We've got about 9 minutes left. I will wait on this for 8.5 minutes. It could bounce. Once again, we could miss our entry and the full upside move. But we do have quite a bit of resistance above us. Keep that in mind. We also have to wait for the RSI. I'm sorry, the momentum. I'll get this indicator correct at one point. I have to wait for the momentum to hit back to positive, which we're quickly shifting to. So switch over to calls. Switch over to QQQ. Bring that in. 5-minute chart is ending in about 2.5 minutes. See if it can turn bullish. If so, there might be a quick play just between here. Possibly going to miss it here. Gap fills it downside, no longer really matters. So we could play each of these different ranges. I would sell out at each of those areas a little bit before that. See, 2 minutes still pushing down, looking for that 20-minute verification. Man, puts on this at the beginning of the day would have been sweet. Could have raked in probably a whole month's worth of profit. Okay, 6 minutes. Let's see what the momentum indicator. Hey, I got it right. Momentum indicator is still negative. Closing in a 1.5 minutes. What could be interesting is below the bull market support band. If we dipped below that, the only downside would be the 25 EMA on the weekly chart. So that might also be the play, considering practically everything should be bullish at this point, or bearish, sorry, bearish. ADX on the 4-hour, bearish. See, momentum was, or MACD is technically bearish because we're still under 0. So I'd say this is still bearish, so the 4 hours bearish. And the next little bit, about 3 hours or so, this will probably turn completely bearish with the fast, or the slow. Actually, no, the blue is the fast, so the fast MACD trend line pointing lower. Momentum, RSI, OBV all indicate selling will continue. 2 hour, same conditions. Might take a little bit longer for the MACD and ADX to turn lower on the 2 and 3 hour. The 1 hour, still bullish on the ADX. Buyers are still in. Obviously, we see the trend change, but buyers are still prevalent. MACD bearish slightly. We want to see that below 0. As you can see, we're well above that on the 1 hour. Momentum, RSI, OBV, bearish. I don't typically like to use the 30-minute, but because it's there and because some people use it, this is what we're dealing with. 20-minute closes in about 4 minutes, which means the 5-minute recently closed. Momentum is still bearish as of right now. I'm not trading anything in this range. Bull market support band is no man's land, in my opinion. So I'm just going to read that out. Better scenario is we get a bullish turnaround for the 2-minute EMA. We'll see if buyers step in here at the bull market support band. We could wait for it to shit the bed here on the other side if we wanted to play it. That's quite a bit of downside as well, about $4, $4.50. SPY actually, I could have been playing this. That's such a large 20-minute candle, but they've been larger, as you can see. So we've got bearish, bearish, bearish. completely bearish, just all bearish. 5-minute chart, not slowing down anytime soon. Coulda, shoulda, woulda played the break here, down here, but possible reversal on Qs hitting the bull market support band, so that could be an indicator too that we should use both to compare where people may or may not be getting in. So buyers are coming in at the bull market support band. 20 minutes, about to close in 2.5 minutes. I will sit tight, wait for it, and just be quiet. I'll let you guys know if I take a trade. Alright, 1 minute left on the 20-minute chart. Possibly going to miss our reversal here since it's been selling so strong. This might be a very strong push to the upside. I wish we would have gotten this move because it is a little bit higher risk to wait for this move to happen. So there's just a lot of resistance. So it could be a fake break above the 25 EMA on the 4-hour chart. 3-hour, let's see, might have to redraw some of these lines as the hours go by. And they're not 100% accurate as well, so I have to consider that too. 50, this should be green anyways. There we go. Okay. So 20-minute, I believe, just closed. Getting possible turnaround here on momentum. So that's bullish. However, look at that. Look at that momentum on the 5-minute chart. It could fill this, it could go higher, but currently momentum is shit right now, so we're not taking that trade. Not going to force anything. RSI does look better. MACD is curling over, so there is some sign of a reversal, as you can see. Price is following suit. I'm going to close this out. This is pretty much nothing of concern for us anymore. And if we really wanted to, we could play this little closure here. However, unfortunately, the 5-minute momentum is still dragging ass. I'd say every other indicator can definitely help show that reversal, so you can get in if you want. As you can see, you could have taken this trade up. Always sell a little bit earlier than your drawings because 25 EMA on the 4-hour chart, I might have been slightly off on that, right? So it's a very close range. As we sold off on this candle, it did point lower. So this is actually currently down here, and it's moving right now, right? So if we take a look, we hit that, and now we deflected off of it. So as you can see, momentum is still in the trash. So won't be taking a trade for another 3 minutes because this momentum wasn't lining up. We also do like to see this hit positive. So if both those line up, we can maybe place a quick trade, which we may or may not miss here. Got 2.5 minutes still, momentum still shit on the 5 minute, but we got our reversal. Every little bit gets more dangerous that we wait to get in, because this trend line is obviously closing in quickly every 2 minutes, getting smaller and smaller, so we might be able to take a 50-cent gain by the time we actually get in, which once again is unfortunate because we just had a $3 bounce. Sucks to play things so close to the chest, but we want it to be perfect. We want to be greedy on the requirements for making money, getting into the trade. And what I mean by greedy is making sure that as many things line up in our favor. We want that, we need that. And then conservative on the exit. Some might say the exact opposite. More conservative on the entry and greedy on the exit, but that doesn't make sense to me. So conservative on the exit. If we drew a trend line, we want to get out before that trend line. If we have a price target, we want to get out slightly before that price target. Alright, we still have 1 minute on the 5. It left a little bit of room on the table to go higher. We'll see if it does. If it breaks this again, we might have a play. But look at that, 25 EMA on the 4 hour. It is reversing off of. Pretty hard, actually. Yeah, this momentum indicator is saying we probably won't see. Well, I guess we'll find out. Probably won't see that recovery that we're looking for with the indicators that we're looking for as well. Let's do a market check here on Bitcoin. Down 2,200 today. Painful to see it. Mara and ASST did really well yesterday because Bitcoin was going up, and now we're retracing, so it's just unfortunate. Okay, 5-minute chart, we've got bullish momentum now. 2-minute chart, we are coming back around, almost positive. Okay, looking to take a call here. Once this goes bullish, we'll take that position. We have enough of our indicators that we'll get a continuation higher for a little bit. The last piece to the puzzle is a positive momentum. Okay, and there it is. Let's see if I want to take this trade, because it's still trending lower. Momentum is shifting higher, which is good. We just have this looming 4 hour, so I'll play it if it breaks above here, and if it does, it will only be for about that $1 or so. weekly bullish ADX. Buyers are disappearing, it looks like, so are sellers. So kind of a mixed input there. Momentum is trending higher. RSI is below 40 and trending lower now. This could be a higher low situation as well, so something to consider there. So this reversal could be pretty strong. Alright, against my better judgment, I am taking this trade to the upside. And we'll take the 50-cent level, be a little more conservative on this exit. Come on, baby. We'll take the 35-cent level, so about 10 cents away. There it is, selling out. Alright, that was a good trade, good trade. Not going to wait for that. Once again, be a little more conservative if you can. That was a good scalp. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, so that was $99. And with commission, about $95 plus 65. We are at $160. We're at our price, or our profit taking for the day. Whew, I feel pretty dang good to have my day complete. Look at that. It's going to hit for sure, but I always leave profit on the table, which isn't the same for the losses, but it is what it is. But once again, it could also just chop, right? And then at that point in time, you could have just got out at the same level. So always consider that as well, especially on this lower time frame of 2 minutes. Alright, I'm going to plug in profits for the day. I'll get a more accurate number for you guys. But today was successful. I would like to be done trading for at least a little bit for today. May or may not get back in. It is July 31st. Let's see. Yeah, so that's already another 15 cents. Would have been about $45 more. That was 18 cents. There's 20 cents right there. It'd be another 60 bucks. So as you can see, still hit our price target, but let us get out at the price we wanted. So in a conservative fashion, this might take a little bit longer to hit that EMA line. So if this continues, we'll be interested if it sells off below the bull market support bands, until that point, I don't really want to trade anything else in this. It's very range bound right now. There's a lot of chop. There's a lot of, actually, I'll leave that on there. There is a lot of support and resistance now, so it could easily go one direction or the other. One thing that I did fail to show you guys today is the economic Bloomberg calendar here. That's my bad. We should have checked that as well. This probably will tell us why we had a bad day today and it sold off. Thursday, core PCE dropped. Core PCE. Oh wait, today's Friday, is it not? Am I crazy? It is Friday. Okay, that was yesterday. Chicago PMI was today. Just needed to scroll a little further. So it looks like it was positive. It says reading of above 50 suggests manufacturing sector is expanding. It was at 57. Reading below 50 suggests the sector is contracting. Forecasting the ISM manufacturing PMI. So bullish for the economy. So what I'll do, I think I'm actually just going to close shop right now. I think that's probably for the best. So it is Friday. Friday is typically a painful day. The markets are super choppy on Fridays. Typically, I feel like they always sell off on Fridays. Not actually, but that's what it feels like. So if you guys continue to trade, Godspeed, good luck, wish you the best. Hopefully today's trading kind of helped you see what I'm looking for, and once again, both trades were profitable, so it worked out in our favor. If something does come up, I'll go ahead and trade it, maybe recap it on Monday of next week, but I will not be hopping back on live, so go ahead and end it for today. It's only about an hour, but that's all you need sometimes. So if we want it to be, you could have a strategy where it's like, screw it, I have a 50-50 shot. Long-term trend is still bearish on the weekly, daily, 4-hour. So if we hit some sort of resistance, I'm going to just buy puts and hold it for the day. Or until, this insane weakness just continues. So that could be something. You could just buy the open and buy, okay, well, pre-market was trending up. Obviously, it pulled back, but on the break of that downtrend, buy into that strength and buy that and ride that up for 5 or 10 minutes. There's different things that you could be doing. This has been the most consistent trading that I have had and seen in regards to using all these indicators, waiting for reversals with the momentum, waiting for a positive trend on the 2-minute, using the 25 EMA as an exit support. You could use a different one. You could use 30. That would have gotten you out at a higher, especially with it really oversold. But there's no guarantee that this continues up. But more likely than not, it will hit this 2-minute EMA on a bounce. It didn't here because we had 5-minute momentum shifting lower still during that time frame. This was very bearish on the longer time frame here on the 5-minute. There was no indication on the momentum that we were going bullish until it actually went bullish. So had I hoped it had done that, early on down here, great. It definitely could have. There's a trade-off, right? With the speed or intensity at which it sells off, that's great for the simple fact that on the way up, you get that higher upside potential. But with that larger drawdown, you also have the chance that momentum is now further below the 0 point, which is when I personally like to get in. So it is a trade-off, but at the same time, you also do let it build out, let it try and fail like it tried to here, and then it continue. So I bought right around here and sold right around, oh shoot, what was it? 35, right? I think it was right around here is when I sold out. So I sold early. And I'm glad, look, this candle totally hit the 25 EMA on the 4 hour. So that's interesting. Hit that, came over here, opened lower, or I guess it closed down here. So opened, and then tried to push lower, and it finally broke out to the upside. So we're leaving money on the table for sure, but consistency is key. For sure, consistency is key. If I add up all the winners on here, in fact, let me do that for you. I have what was I going to tell you? I have let the losers run too heavy on the days that I do lose. But I was also leveraged way too high. I had several thousands of dollars. And I also placed trades that now I have more strict guidelines for. So there's quite a bit that goes into it. So we'll see 1 out of 1. I'll just count it off so you guys can kind of hear it. So 2 out of 2, profitable. 3 out of 3, profitable. 4 out of 4, profitable. 4 out of 5, profitable. 5 out of 6, profitable. 6 out of 7, profitable. 7 out of 8, profitable. 8 out of 9, profitable. 9 out of 10, profitable. 10 out of 11, profitable. 11 out of 12, profitable. 12 out of 13, profitable. 13 out of 14, profitable. 14 out of 15, profitable. 15 out of 16, profitable. 16 out of 17, profitable. 17 out of 18, profitable. 17 out of 19, profitable. 17 out of 20, profitable. My streak of losses right there. So far, 2 is the streak. 18 out of 21, profitable. 18 out of 22, profitable. 18 out of 23, profitable. So 18 out of 23 so far. 19 out of 24, 20 out of 25, 21 out of 26, 22 out of 27, or I'm sorry, yeah, 27, 23 out of 28, 24 out of 29, 25 out of 30, 26 out of 31, 27 out of 32, 28 out of 33, 29 out of 34, 30 out of 35, 31 out of 36, 31 out of 37, 31 out of 38, let's see, 32 out of 39, 33 out of 40, and 34 out of 41. So out of 41 trades, 34 have been profitable. That's a ratio of about 82.9% profitability. Obviously, you have to watch that those losses are not as high as the gains, right? So something to consider with your stop loss management or risk management. But I will say over the course of 41 trades, some of this was before I fine-tuned it, so maybe you consider that luck on some losers I let turn around and they became profitable or break even or at a lower loss. That's all about your management, risk management. So consider that. I have fine-tuned it so it is more narrow for like the losses will be a lot lower. And The profits are going to be a lot lower as well, but I'm managing that risk and doing what I feel comfortable with. If I bet $1,000 per trade and you're not comfortable with that, then bet a lot less. For a while there, before I started fine-tuning things, not for a while, but for a couple days, I was only doing about $400 per trade, and I had to do more trades, but I was more comfortable. Like I could stomach the move because I was down like $20, even though typically if I had $5,000 invested, that $20 would now be, I don't know, $200 or $300 that I'm pushing as a loss. So now I can stomach it. That is one of the bigger things I think with trading is stomaching the volatility. So knowing that you've lined up everything possible with your indicators, your entry, you're committed to your entry, and now you just have to stomach the price action, which, if you bought in here and sold up here, there's not too much volatility in that. But if you're chopping around a little bit, you're going to have to stomach quite a bit. And even then, like if you had bought down here and you're like, okay, it's going in my favor, and then you're like, oh, maybe I should sell, and then it rejects completely, you're like, crap, I just lost 50% of my profit already. What do I do? Maybe I'll sell it so I don't lose more. Okay, well, now you just missed the rest of that upside. So manage your stomach, your risk, your stop loss, if you will. It's either a mental one. It could be, if you're breaking all-time lows and you had bought a call, that could be, okay, I'm done. Or it could be, hey, we're pulling back. I did buy calls, but I know it is still going to reach this EMA, so I'll let it play out. It could drop, and then bounce back. That's a risk you could possibly take as well. Downside to that is, if you bought in here thinking that you were going to hit this, now you're waiting for all this to play out, and then it finally did, luckily, and then it reversed, right? So, and then you could get out at $1.28 loss versus maybe I'll get out. You know what? Yeah, I'll get out now. Like, why not find something where, okay, if it does reverse, the chances of it like continuously selling off are very low. And if that was the case, you probably shouldn't have bought calls anyways, because I guarantee you those longer term indicators were telling you, hey, dummy, be careful here. So yeah, keep all that in mind. Oh, we're looking at SPY. I'm like, why is this is very strong. Let's see if Qs are doing the same thing over here. No, see, like we called it so well. Sorry about that. I was looking at the wrong stock. We called that exit really well. We got out at 35. So right about here on this push on this candle, I believe it was. And that same candle, all I had to do was wait until that 2-minute candle closed. So it was probably already a minute through. We had a minute left, whatever, something close to that. And that would have been the difference between another $100, right? So had I just listened to my price target, but once again, I'd rather be a little bit more conservative. 50-cent levels are notorious. Right now, it doesn't matter because it's so volatile, it's so choppy. 50-cent levels are getting blown through easily. See, just did it. So, 50-cent might not matter, but typically 50-cent levels might be a mental thing for people that especially trade smaller prices on things. Let's see, it looks like Bitcoin, I think, slowed down a little bit from its sell-off, so that's kind of nice. APT is flat. I'm telling you, this stock is kind of a golden goose, just chilling. So buy here, sell $5 covered calls, rake in. I don't even know what it would be, 5-10%. And then just know that book values up here, they're cash heavy, so they can withstand a storm. I think about 7 months was their turnover rate. I believe they start running out of materials after that, but at the end of the day, I mean, if you're cash heavy, you can probably withstand that for quite some time. without having to sell any more products. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the stream here. Hope you have a great day. I looked into it, and I believe the saying that I did have was get in, get out, take profit. So that's Black Mamba. That's I'm saying there, but that's my motto, I guess, if you will. Get in, get out, take profit. Um, once again, we did change it to something a little bit more conservative on X, but go ahead and check us out there. I do post some of the trades that I have down there. I do also kind of recap some of my thoughts on the market that I may or may not touch in these videos. But that's Black Mamba CEO. That's the handle, or the username, if you will. Excuse me. So if you guys want to check it out, that will be it. I do have a Black Mamba on there. The reason why I chose Black Mamba, just so you guys are aware, has nothing to do with, what is it, Kobe, I think. Has nothing to do with that. I have some history with Africa that I used to live there. And so I've always enjoyed African things, African culture, and Black Mamba is one of the fastest snakes from what I learned in my youth slash young adult life. So, and I think the name is sick. So, Black Mamba Investments is where we got our name from the snake itself. But yeah, now we are picking long trades, maximizing profit, and creating generational wealth. This still rings true, even though I am day trading now. Again, the reason why this rings true is because majority of my equity that I have available to, or capital I should say, to use for investing is in long-term trades. And now we're just kind of trading with pocket change, if you will. So, but that pocket change will be used to buy more investments to create that generational wealth. Also looking more into dividend paying stocks. So that's something that I've been using quite a bit. Once again, SATA is something I wish I had $1 million of, because, that'd be a 6-figure year of dividends nonstop. So anyways, once again, take care. Have a blessed day. God bless. We'll see you guys on Monday. Don't believe it's a holiday. Holidays always sneak up on me. That is August 3rd. I don't think that is a holiday of any sort. So we'll see you on Monday. Godspeed.